All right. Hello, everyone. This is a new episode of Whatever Happened to the Game. This is Adrian Tepes from Eastern Pennsylvania. I'm joined today by Elio.
Hi there.
So today is our third and last episode of Whatever Happened to the Alien game. We're going to be talking about the newest Alien game up until the present, the Fireteam Elite. We'll recap here because there are things these in a way tie into earlier predecessors. But first thing, we recommend Steam. All the new games and keeps your old games updated. Going later on that sale, and it is Konami has a sale on Steam right now. So Metal Gear Solid and for Contra games. So if you're interested in a Contra game, you can get it real cheap this week.
Mm-hmm.
And our recent work. So how is your recent work going, Albelio?
Well, this one took 1 million attempts to get uploaded, but it did upload, and I hope everybody enjoys it.
Yeah. I felt your
soon.
season 1 finale of that Rings of Power was pretty funny.
Thank you. I'm hoping it's just as bad because it's looking like it's going to be.
Yeah, and this live stream, I was going to let you know, this live stream has a poll. So put a vote in it. We're going to talk about what game franchise would you see after Halo. Also, in 2025, we're going to be talking about films, so it'll be a little fun. I'll have a poll on my community tab about what kind of film you want me to do commentary on. But this one for me recently is explaining Lords of Shadow as an alternate Castlevania timeline. It's a little fun. I had a fun time making it. So
good.
Goes on, and so this is a recap because this is how Alien versus Predator, which took over the Alien games for a while. So for a while, for about a decade, we had Alien versus Predator being the Alien games definitively for a while. We had Rebellion Software, but this started from a Dark Horse comic, which I showed the cover up here on the top of this page, of this presentation page, where they first did Alien versus Predator in 1989. So they did it before they had the Easter egg in Predator 2, actually. I didn't know that until I looked up more about how the comics publication history ran.
Yeah, a lot of people tend to attribute it to Predator 2.
Right. I realized that it was in the Dark Horse comics in the year before that. And I guess the more you read, the more you know. But after the era of Alien vs. Predator, which essentially ended for video games, except for mobile games, which I'm not really going to cover, I don't feel they are as significant. So the era of Alien vs. Predator in games ceased to be a focus in 2010. And after that, they started going back to just focusing on aliens in games. So we have our prelude to these Alien games that happened during the 90s up to 2000, where they had Alien first-person shooter games. And that's a precursor right there because the games we're going to be talking about are played in the first person, except for Dark Descent. So, and here's a fun little fact that you see on the bottom here. While it was not the beginning of the first-person genre, John Carmack stated in an interview, and I have the link to this interview right here. That you can watch the video of, in which John Carmack is being interviewed about the making of the Doom games. He said that one of the 3 biggest inspirations for Doom were Dungeons and Dragons, Aliens, and the Terminator.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So yes, the Alien inspired the first-person genre. So first one today is Colonial Marines.
Yeah, this absolute travesty.
It was a hell in the making, but part of it was because Borderlands and Duke Nukem Forever were on Gearbox Software's priority back then. So they delayed it and put it off for years. So it ended up taking 6 years to come out with Aliens Colonial Marines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the blame game afterwards was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and in the lower right-hand corner, here's the concept art designer they finally got to finish the project, to get the project rolling, Sid Mead. He also did artwork for the more recent Blade Runner 2049 as well. The great thing about this game is you can have up to 4 players getting together on the internet on the same team. Because before then it was mainly, a Halo game where you're either against each other or doing 2-player co-op. This was up to 4 players on the same team in the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Kaos. How are you doing, brother?
Hey, buddy.
So I'm going to go in here and we're going to take a look at Alien Trilogy, just see the primitive template for what became Colonial Marines later. Then we're going to watch Colonial Marines.
Sure.
All right. All right. So
Yes, the good old atmospheric times.
well, hey, at least this wasn't an N64 controller. At least if
That
you were
is true.
lucky, you could get the analog PlayStation controller at the time it came out. Still,
Yeah, it's too bad the analog didn't actually work on most games because it wasn't made for them.
right. But back then, I really feel like the analog joystick was better than a. I mean, Nintendo 64, as I said before, was great for Mario and third-person games. It's not good for first-person at all. The controller, anyway.
Well, Perfect Dark would Perfect Dark would beg to differ.
I mean, yeah, I got good at playing some games that are first person, like GoldenEye for N64, but I don't know. A lot of these is a little bit difficult. GoldenEye had auto aim.
I do like this section that loads 1 bit at a time. It's a clever use of making sure your PS1 doesn't die when loading stuff.
Yeah, this is also one of the earlier games for checkpoint saves.
Uh-huh.
So when you finish missions or got around halfway through the mission, it would save the game for you, which would later get used, as we all know, in Halo. The checkpoint system, anyway. Yeah. But as you can say, the shotgun is a broken weapon in this game. It's just so powerful.
Makes sense. Because otherwise he was running around with a pistol.
Right, I'm just saying. The shotgun in this game, you can play through most of this game with just a shotgun. I mean, the ammunition is pretty plentiful, and there's so much power per shot. So it's more of a challenge to actually try using something other than a shotgun.
Do you like the music?
I do. It's pretty good for back then.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel that the Aliens Colonial Marines took some of what we had mechanically in Alien Trilogy or Alien Resurrection and got
Destroyed it.
More... Yeah, streamlined it is what I usually say, more or less. It had a better. I'd say it had a better not variability, but it was a little more balanced in the various weapons you could use in Colonial Marines.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I'll say about Colonial Marines is it made some retcons in terms of how it works, in terms of the plot that it set up for itself.
Oh,
Okay.
oh yeah.
The part where Hicks didn't actually die. I mean, I don't know. I did feel I'm mixed on that. Plus, there's another bishop. So
Can't have an Alien game without Bishop.
I mean, aliens, plural, yeah.
Well,
Because
yeah.
apparently in Alien, they recently copy pasted Ian Holmes' face for Rook.
Oh god, it was bad. It was so bad, dude.
I know. It's just even then, I wish they didn't CGI that with the uncanny valley. I wish they did at least do a model cast of Ian Holm. Which they can do that. They can make a good even if it's rubber, they can make a good face recreation of what Ian Holmes looked like, and I would prefer that over CGI.
True, but that means they would have also had to dig him up.
Actually, today we can have a good 3D scan of what someone used to look like. But
yeah, I do wonder if somebody's got the old Ash prop. Probably could have used that.
Oh yeah, the head. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I probably shouldn't have said that. Now. So full screen. There we go. So this is the early part of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if there was ever a game that had so much promise, it was this one.
Yeah.
What a shame, too.
Yeah.
Because like, especially you get through that first you get through like you end up watching the trailer, and then you get through that first area, and you're like, oh, that's cool. They changed this, but that makes sense because that was for a trailer. And then you go try to do more of it, and then you're just like, this is nothing at all like they claimed it would be.
Yeah, here's the thing. How do you feel about the fact they keep making bishops and aliens? Like, I don't know. I figured there would be more androids out there. Maybe it's more of a Terminator thing. Like how they always make Arnold Schwarzenegger be the image of the Terminator, but in the first film, really, because even in the first film, Kyle Reese remembers the one that was not Arnold, but Franco Colombo, another.
Yeah, exactly.
And he didn't recognize it because he didn't see a Terminator that looks like that yet. But I don't know. I mean, how many Bishop copies do there have to be? I mean, I think that there's more than one person that they based androids off of, and that's one thing I didn't complain about in Covenant or Prometheus is they at least came up with David instead of Bishop or Ash.
Yeah, and I get mass production of all of that, but still, it's like.
I mean, you still have variants. I mean, there's different variants of, say, a Subaru Impreza. Like, there's different bodies. Just because you say Subaru Impreza, well, what kind? There's like several variants of it at least, and that's only for the make for the year. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd think that they would take the time to actually produce more of. Well, they actually kind of experimented with that, way back in Alien 3 because they had the human bishop.
Well, there's this conspiracy theory that he isn't actually the bishop they met. You find in Alien 3 wasn't actually a human. He's also another bishop, but again, it's just a theory. He could be a person that's just really tough when it comes to getting his face scratched and his ear pulled off, but I don't know.
Yeah, I was watching a video by Alien Theory, which is a really big alien dedicated channel, and I think he actually went through and explained that he's supposed to be human. There's actually a deleted scene that adds a little bit more context to it, but I'd have to dig that video back up.
Right. I mean, Alien Theory is a good trail. I do recommend him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
I will be right back.
All right. See you then. Oh, yes, this is released. It ended up being released in 2013. So yeah, 2013. So yeah, as you mentioned earlier, this had a 6-year development hell that involved in making the game because they wanted to do Duke Nukem Forever or um, Borderlands 2. So it was a little bit behind, and it was somewhat disappointing. It did sell over 1 million copies in North America, and it did get positive reviews overall. But they did some retcons, such as how Hicks is still alive and didn't actually die. So yeah, I hope that answers you, Chaos. It was 2013, and the next year, another game came out in which we were going to take a look at that one. So, so we're going to be taking a look at the next year, and that will be Alien Isolation. Alien Isolation. So yeah, Alien Isolation was a big change. Yeah, they do, Dan. Yeah, they do. So, yeah, Alien Isolation was a big change. Yeah, they do, Dan. Yeah, they do. So the big change here is that unlike in Alien games, you can't just kill the aliens. You actually have to avoid and try and escape a space station with an alien on it. And that's more in line with the original Alien film. And you were playing as Amanda Ripley, the daughter of Ellen Ripley. And I'm not sure how much of a retcon this is. Officially, the story was that her daughter died when she got back. And the daughter would be like in her 60s or 70s, and they can be aliens. But that's just the story. The only other part we know about is that there was a deleted scene, which is not the official part of the film. It's a deleted scene where Ripley talks to her daughter uh, on a last phone call, and her daughter's, not too happy that she's been gone so long, and wants to know why. But in this game, you're playing as her daughter, Amanda, and you are trying to survive an alien, just like her mother before her. So it's interesting because it takes a completely different approach from the previous Alien games where you go around shooting aliens like it's Doom. So we're going to be going into that one, and that should be pretty fun as well. So Alien Isolation also marked a time where it was mainly Sega that published Alien games. So it's interesting. Um, so and it's funny. I like the beginning. I like how they do the very old-looking 20th Century Fox fanfare to start this off, more or less. It's just so great and so much in theme with how the Alien movie opens back in 1979. I mean, it's a lot of nostalgia, but at the same time, it's very great in terms of theme to just deliver it and start with the audience who is playing the game, introducing you're in the and even the intro by Ellen Ripley herself. More or less. Yeah, they are. Lawyers. Gotta love them. Yeah, Chaos, it is perhaps the best recent Alien game I've seen in a long time. And still, even though it's 10 years later, I still like it. Even now, it's available on phones at this point. It's that much of a classic.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I started giving an introduction to Alien Isolation, but we're just beginning. I was just mentioning how great the opening is in terms of keeping the thematics of the original 1979 Alien film, with the Fox fanfare and the Sega logo showing up.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's funny. The first time I ever actually played this, I ran into the door glitch and I had to restart the whole game.
Yeah.
Granted, it was like 5 minutes prior to this, but it's like, why is this still a thing?
Yeah, this game had glitches. Like one of the weirdest ones I think is when you get like if I got the alien stuck in the door, it stays there.
Uh-huh.
And it doesn't move. It doesn't leave the door. It just stays in the door. Even if you open the door, it's stuck there. So it hog ties the alien so it can't get you.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you close the door on it. And there's so many glitches, but I think it got better after release. But this is part of what people complain about with today's games is that they're kind of incomplete, and you wonder, okay, did they test this for quality yet? But I do enjoy how it's not just shoot 'em up. It's you gotta avoid it, sneak around it, hide.
Yeah, the mechanics for the alien drive me nuts though, because it'll hear you in a whole nother area, and it won't leave you alone once it finds that you're in there.
Right. Unless you heard it, and it will run away for a while, and you gotta run, get moving. Yeah, I'm skipping this because I want to get to the part where you actually have to sneak and worry about surviving. So you finally get into the station, and this is it. What's gone wrong?
And they absolutely do a bang up job making sure you feel tension, because like the whole time you're walking in there, you're like, oh god, where's the alien?
Yeah, and it's even better with the if you have headphones on and you hear the surround sound, it's like you're in there. Everything, like you hear it like it's behind you.
Yeah, and since they like mislead you a little bit, because like they have so much they do so much time give so much time setting things up, making it look like, you know, or showing you like how bad everything went. And
Yeah,
by that time, because like in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, I know the alien is it's in here somewhere. I just don't know where. And then you get to like the 45 or hour, depending on how long it takes you to get through that opening, and then it shows up, and you're like, oh.
that's it. And it's the first victim you find right here, or one of the first ones. Yeah, he got gutted. Man, I find it interesting. I usually thought they bit you in the head. I guess it went for his gut for some reason. I don't know. And this it's even better when you're using it on a console and you feel the with the vibrations when you're trying to turn turn the pull the levers. It adds a little more to the atmosphere. So you know, if I were actually playing this, I'd be feeling vibrations when I'm trying to turn the wrench and undo the seal in this door.
Yeah, two of the harshest lessons I learned about this game is that, one, because it can obviously, you know, hear you in other rooms and whatnot. The second is that when you're doing other things, it'll still kill you. Even if you're saving, it'll just
Yeah,
run up and murk you.
very much. And you can't always have the motion sensor up or motion tracker up all the time either.
Yeah, no, it can hear the motion sensor pinging. The AI in this game is genuinely impressive. I would say that it's a little too good at times.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, it does take you a while to see the alien. Um, Nah, I just had to skip. I wanted to get
All
to the
good,
part where
all
you got
good.
a flamethrower here.
Yeah, there are some really long sections that, you know, where you're just kind of moping around doing not a whole lot.
Oh. And the crazy part is the alien. Not only can it find you, but it can like pull the lid off, and get you inside a locker or in a vent. You're not even safe in there.
Oh yeah, one of those, it was one of those things that you learn the hard way through gameplay, because I was I'm not far into the game. I don't have a great deal of time to relax and do a whole lot, but I was playing through not too long ago, and I was hiding in the. I had to get through the med lab area. Ended
Right.
up getting through the area, got into the next room, the next like section where I had to relax to just wait, and not only did it hear the motion sensor pinging, it walked into the room, and I thought, oh great. And I'm already not a very fast reader, right? I'm like a cross-eyed turtle when it comes to this.
Right.
And so I see this little, like, it leans into my locker, and I'm
Oh,
like, I wonder what that is. And I look down to read the prompt, and before I could finish reading it, it rips the door open and kills me. And I was like, what the hell? So I looked it up online. You're supposed to hold your breath.
right.
If it
You
gets
are.
too close, you have to hold your breath. And I'm like, no, I didn't know.
Yeah. My I think it was my second time trying to play through this. That's when I found out this thing can get you inside a vent. It will pull the vent cover off and get you in there.
Yep.
And in many older first-person shooter games, you're basically safe by going inside a vent, unless they can shoot into it, which often they can't. So I was like, "Wait, it can get me in there? What?
Hmm.
It can get me. I'm not safe anywhere."
Yeah,
But
it is an impressive AI. There's no arguing that. Did did he just not overwrite his save?
yeah, he did. He did.
What a mad lad.
Oh, I hate this part. This is one of those cases where you have the necessary stupidity to drive a horror plot in action. Don't pull the switch, you're gonna blow something up. Don't do it. Oh, ah, shit. No, it's not, you dumbass. It's not safe.
Yeah, you still have like an 8-foot problem walking around the station. But yeah, sure, it's totally safe.
I'm gonna do a little bit more before we go into Fireteam Elite and Darkness. There's the alien, finally.
Yeah, there's the alien.
Oh, I was so glad when I finally found a flare. Because that's like one of the few things you can actually distract it or decoy it with.
Yeah, knowing my luck, as soon as I popped the flare and threw it, it wouldn't have taken the shortest route. It would have ran straight into me.
Oh, yeah, it's an around the corner trick. It's tough to master. You can't be like directly lined up with the flare if you want to trick it.
Oh yeah, I know.
Ah, but yeah, you don't see. That's what I like about it is it goes off the usual path of shooting up aliens like a Doom game and more
Hmm.
into the run away and don't get caught.
It is a nice change of pace.
So now we're talking about Aliens Dark Descent, and yes, the rumors are true. It is hard because it's very different. It is a real-time strategy game where you are commanding a group of Marines. So you aren't in there shooting; you are ordering groups of the Marines to do it. And unlike, say, Command and Conquer or Warcraft games, you can't just build more Marines out of barracks. So
Hmm.
you have to make sure to use all your team members wisely. Um, there are some things. Yeah, no, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna ask. It's like everyone's got one life, right?
Yeah, and
Okay.
you are like a it's like how in Command and Conquer or the early Warcraft games you give commands to your team members or your soldiers. That's what you do here, and I'm going to show it a little demonstration. But that's what you do here.
Sure, sure.
It's not the easiest thing to do with an Xbox, but the cinematics are great. So there's two things that they introduced. One is a cultist, which is in the upper right-hand corner, and the Titan, which is right below him. The biggest xenomorph seen so far.
Gotcha.
And if you ever had any doubts about aliens eating humans, the Titan uses its inner jaw to reach out, grab a person, and it swallows the person whole. It's like 40 feet tall. No, 40 feet long with the tail, like a school bus size.
Wow. Okay.
Biggest xenomorph yet. I think so. I don't know about the alien homeworld in the Dark Horse comics. They might have bigger queens.
I was gonna say the Empress, maybe. But cool. So I like that there's cultists because that was one of the Dark Horse comics. I just don't remember which one off the top of my head. Because the idea of cultists have always been played with.
Were the Dark Horse comics related to the Aliens novels by Steve Perry?
I do not know.
Because I read part of the Steve Perry novels, Earth Hive, The Female War, and they said they're about aliens that come to Earth. So if xenomorphs reach Earth, so I'm wondering
that reminds me that damn show is supposed to come up soon. There's like an aliens show that's supposed to take place on Earth. And it's supposed to prelude it happened before like the whole series. So I have no idea what the hell it's supposed to be about.
The corporation, maybe?
I don't know. I don't trust it.
So here is what we see in Dark Descent. You have four team members here, and you have to do orders. So you have Harper, Latimer, and Ruiz, and you have to give orders. There's different abilities like flares, flashbang grenades, because apparently sound hurts aliens, according to the games.
They were probably just looking for another option.
Yeah.
So is this all turn-based, or is it in-game actual real-time?
It's real-time, and you can pause it. So right here, I pause. You pause it to give orders. So I want to. In this one, they're changing stance, so they're saying, okay, one guy does a suppressive fire, so he's covering for you in the back, but you can pause to give it more orders.
Interesting. Okay.
So there's a lot of different moves you can do, but suppressive fire is probably my most common one I use in this one because it's they're coming after you in a hallway, so you better fire backwards and get them while they're chasing you. And you can even see the ammo counters for your squad members' weapons.
Oh, I see. Okay. And thankfully, the game also looks good.
It is. It was last year actually. They released this. But yeah, the cinematics are pretty nice. But I'll get to the cultist scene in a little bit.
Sure.
And of course, the aliens destroyed the whole ship by getting on board.
Mm-hmm.
But don't worry, they'll die when they fall into the atmosphere.
Well, you don't know. Now that Romulus happened, you have no idea if they could survive that kind of descent.
They still burn and they still die from bullets.
Sure.
I mean, the only issue I had with Romulus was how do you find it? They don't have a thermal signature, and they're an object that's smaller than a ship in space. They aren't giving off any signal.
Yeah, believe me, I was not happy when I saw that, and that was 30 seconds into the movie. I was like, no,
I
it's
mean,
bad.
finding it, it's like bringing back the Death Star. I mean, sure, but for me, anyways, that's why I like Knights of the Old Republic. It wasn't a Death Star; it was something else.
Mm.
So this is the cultist part.
Yeah, the good old welder.
In one piece. Doesn't mean an alien just put a hole in it. Space termites put a hole in them, I guess. Oh shit! This is where he realized the alien sprayed everywhere.
Mm-hmm. That smart gum looks a little small.
Yeah.
Isaac?
I said, you mean LaFerez?
It looks like Isaac from Dead Space because of
Oh,
the
the
glowing components
glowing
on the
chest.
suit.
Yeah, well, that's not just anything that's glowing on that cultist. It gets worse.
Okay.
It gets worse. You'll find out what's glowing on the guy in a little bit. The glowing is an actual incubation hole in his body, holding an alien in it.
Oh, look at that.
It's a frozen chest burster.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, he mentally communicates with the chest burster in his body. It's weird.
Okay. So they're doing the okay. Because the aliens, in particular, the Empress and Queen, have a bit of a telepathy that they can use to
Right.
communicate with the rest of the hive.
Yeah. Well, the cultists in this game, like him, they do that too.
Mm. I'm not a big fan when you start to get into telepathy and psychics in series because the rules are always so vague.
Yeah. I kind of like the early X-Men movies because there's kind of limitations to it. But I didn't like, if we ever talk about the X-Men movies, I kind of just don't like how much they limited Xavier.
Mm.
Obviously, there were limitations in the special effects, possibly, but I feel they limited him a bit too much in most movies except First Class. But First Class is when he's younger. So, and I'll show the Titan because I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, the guy was able to tell an alien to come out of him and attack the people in the lab.
Uh-huh. So I take it there's more than just one of these cultists.
Oh yes, there's at least several.
Yeah. Oh my, that thing's huge.
Yes, the Titan. So, oh, sorry, I watched it before. I couldn't resist.
All good. All good.
Even big, probably because it came out of this thing that's bigger than a space jockey. So this is Necropolis.
Okay.
City of the Dead. Or at least that's what the Marines are calling it.
Is this another space jockey or engineer ship?
Yeah, this is a city of the space jockeys.
Oh.
But the cultists wanted to use Cassandra to make a new alien queen.
Okay.
And your mission in Dark Descent is to get Cassandra out of there. But this is where you get the Titan.
Holy balls.
That is huge.
Oh.
Yep, it's going to swallow this guy whole. Oh.
Oh, wow.
Don't worry, it doesn't have hind legs.
Oh, that's convenient.
But the whole part of this mission is you have to run from it. That's all you can actually do because it's so huge.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't imagine you'd be able to do much against that.
You need a bigger weapon to do something. Like, you need to drop a big bomb on it. Run, you idiot.
Yeah, well, so much for that.
Yeah, so. But no,
Good Lord.
It's a great game where you're just mostly just ordering your soldiers around.
Uh-huh.
Let's see.
Cool.
Yeah. So in the meantime, Konami skills on Steam. This is our last little bit. Konami games on sale include Metal Gear, Contra, and Rocket Knight Adventures. I haven't heard of Rocket Knight before.
Mm-hmm. Been a long time.
Coming up next, whatever happened to Halo, and there in 2025, that will be Whatever Happened to podcast dedicated to films. I'm going to be playing live with Curse of Darkness tomorrow. I'll be playing Metal Gear Solid today because that's what my poll votes were. And you're going back to? Are you still on Fallout this weekend?
I intend on actually streaming this Friday to continue Fallout and hopefully, I doubt it, but hopefully finish the game, and then I can get into Order of Ecclesia. And I will probably get my next Rings of Power video out. If it's not tomorrow, it'll most likely be Saturday.
All right.
Because this whole month for myself and my family and whatnot, this whole month just got turned on its head, to say the least.
It happens. It happens. So everyone, thank you for coming. We're going to take a week off, and then whatever happened to Halo is going to be happening the week after this week. So this Thursday we won't have a new stream. I'll be putting together all the Alien episodes into one, and you will have a video premiere next week instead. In the meantime, until we meet again, farewell.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.